Cesar Chavez, Roberto Clemente, and Ana Ochoa. These are 3 very great Hispanic leaders. There's more. We could go on and on. But StuCo took the time to interview several teachers at Monnig Middle School, sharing their traditions, favorite Mexican dishes, and what they would like to pass on, even more. Let's take a look.
What do you know about your family name?
Actually, I once looked it up in Google. I was curious myself. All I know is it has to do something with oak. That's all I know. That's all it would tell me. And what I've heard is the Carbajals. They were one of the founding families of San Antonio, and that's basically all I know about the Carbajals. It's not really too popular. It's as far as I know, it's popular in Texas and California, and towards. I actually did a 23andMe DNA thing, and my roots come from Jalisco, Mexico. So that's about all that I know about my name and my last name.
I think the interesting thing for my name, Munoz, is that in a lot of ways it's written behind me kind of backwards. It has a letter in it that doesn't exist in the American alphabet. And if you look at your keyboards that you're looking at, it doesn't exist on that keyboard either. And for me, that's pretty significant as far as every day that I exist here in America, my name doesn't ever have the tilde above the N in most cases. A lot of times I exist here in America as Mr. Munoz, which is not my name. And that's just a thing of cultural awareness, of knowing that in our language and where my last name is coming from, in Spanish, the ñ is used as, so there are other characters that are used in the Spanish alphabet that don't exist in the English alphabet.
I'm Mr. Ortiz. I teach 6th grade humanities. I taught regular on-level social studies last year, but Ortiz, I've looked it up several times, and the last time that I looked it up was a couple months ago. And so what I kind of found out was that Ortiz is kind of a blend of a couple different words. So Orti, like O-R-T-I without the Z, is like a first name in Spain, in the Basque region, which is, I think, the north coast of Spain, I think. And so the suffix iz is, or at least what I read up on, it was a common suffix. So it essentially means son of Orti. And so, yeah, that's what I've seen. I've also seen that the word translates to like fortunate. So yeah, that's where my last name comes from.
So my question is, what is a Hispanic tradition you wish to pass down that your parents have passed down to you?
A tradition that my family does, and they've done this for my great-grandparents and my grandparents. My family's Catholic, so on the 6th of January, they kind of do like what they call nacimiento, which is for baby Jesus. And my grandpa, in his whole garage, like a whole wall, he makes kind of like just with toys and like little trees, and it's huge. And I wish I had a picture to show you guys, but it's, when he first started, it was kind of smaller because when they first started it, they didn't have a lot. And as the years have passed by, we send them stuff, all his kids send him stuff. People just, they know about it, so they send him stuff. And now it's just my grandpa. My grandma has already passed away, but he says that whenever he's gone, he would like for his kids to still go back and do the nacimiento on the 6th of January. And I would like to, even after like my aunts and uncles and my mom, they're gone, for us to still go back and do that as well.
For us, is like Mr. Munoz said, is family, and in gatherings like for birthdays, we make birthdays big. At least for me, growing up with cousins, aunt and uncles, we hit piñatas, and they'd always hire like mariachis to come sing at our birthdays and stuff like that. And that was just very festive, and And I just like the whole bondship with just aunts and uncles and cousins and family. It just made it special. And so that's some of the stuff I want to pass down to my kids, making birthdays big and involving as many people as you can.
What's your favorite Hispanic meal or dish?
For me, I could go on and on and on and on about all the different food. And some of it's kind of funny too, if you think about like the difference between a taco and a flauta and enchiladas. A lot of it has the same ingredients, a tortilla and some meat of some kind, chicken, some cheese, onion, but it's kind of how it's prepared or how it's organized on your plate for you. But also something different is it's expanding out of just Mexico and Texas and Tex-Mex. I lived in California for a long time, and so we're along the coast. So a big chunk of our tacos are fish tacos and octopus tacos and different kinds of seafood. So I think those are kind of my favorites right now.
I actually had my favorite Mexican dish today. It was chicken enchiladas and homemade flour tortillas. And I also love tamales. Those are the best. So those are some of my favorite basic foods.
My question is, do you have any family traditions you can share with us today?
Yeah, as far as traditions, growing up, about once or maybe every other year, would take trips to Mexico, and we drove there, and it was long trips, but it was neat because I spent a lot of time with my parents and my sisters, so that's a tradition growing up that I really enjoyed, just the long trips to Mexico. The town that we went to was on the other side of the Rio, Texas, named Ciudad Acuña. We would go there often, so that's just something I really enjoyed, a tradition growing up.
How can students learn more about cultures and traditions?
One thing that I learned about the Hispanic culture is that we're very affectionate people. And, they always meet you instead of with a handshake, maybe with a hug and a kiss on the cheek. And that's just the way that I've grown up. And so that's, just something different about our culture.
I agree with the traveling. You definitely need that travel in you to get that just the seasoning of a well-rounded human being. I mean, our time on this planet is super short. You got to see as much of it as you can. And along with the whole 23andMe thing, I mean, that's a great way to get to know your roots. But then if you're trying to learn about somebody else's culture, I mean, we are such a diverse country that, if you want to learn about another culture, I mean, just make a friend or go to a different part of town or go to some sort of, cultural gathering or something that is outside of your norm, so that you can see into, another person's worldview for even just a little while.
All right. So what is something you feel people should be aware of?
That's a hard question. Be more specific. Aware of what?
Like aware of Hispanic heritage or just Hispanics in general?
Oh, I guess it's just pretty much like the last question, just the diversity of our culture, and just everybody has their own unique story. It's interesting because I don't know about everybody here, but I was actually not born in, I was born in Mexico. So it was, that's something different that makes me stand out. And I've been living in the U.S. since I've been 3, and I learned English by watching Sesame Street. So I guess just the diversity of those on this here and just everywhere. You just can't make simple, quick judgments on people because we have different stories to tell.
It's important to kind of just learn about, take the time to kind of learn a little bit about Hispanic heritage. And I think that it's really cool that you guys took the time to kind of interview all of us and hear a little bit about us. And I think that it's important to kind of realize that even though, there's a lot of countries that speak Spanish, and to kind of get to know a little bit about all of them. I thought it was pretty cool last year in one of my classes, one of my Spanish speaking classes, there were some kids from so many different Spanish speaking countries. And it's funny how even though we all speak Spanish, like some words may mean a different thing in different countries, or sometimes just the way the accents are different, you know, sometimes it's way different. And sometimes like, I don't understand that. Some of the kids will be like, well, I don't know what they're saying, but it's, even though they're still speaking Spanish. So it's just kind of important to kind of learn about a little bit about everything, all the countries that speak Spanish, and be aware that there's, you know, they're not all, from example, from Mexico. People are from many different countries.